Alright, so I'm going to go over a few steps that are hopefully going to resolve any issues of not being able to import modules or pip not being recognized as a command. So the first step is going to be to open up Visual Studio Code and drag up from the bottom and open up the terminal and make sure it's not on the Python debug console. Make sure it's on either bash, ZSH, or CMD, depending on your OS and configurations. And so the first command that you want to enter is which Python if you're on Mac, and if you're on Windows, it's where Python. So which Python, since I'm on Mac, and that's going to bring up the address of the current Python that's being used, the current downloaded version. And so then type which pip3, or if you're on Windows, where pip, and that'll bring up the pip location. And so the problem is likely to be that this pip location doesn't align with the location of the Python version that's being used. And so to resolve that, you're first going to want to go into your extensions, and if you have Python installed, uninstall it, and that'll usually require a clean reload. And then you're going to want to go into your browser and navigate to python.org. And you should see this downloads tab. And if this operating system is correct and this button's showing up, go ahead and click that and that'll download it directly. If not, you'll have to select your operating system from these. So Mac, and it'll bring you to a page that looks like this, and just look under stable releases, and it should be the top one, and it should be 3.8, and then download the installer for it. And then go ahead and navigate through this installation process just like any other. And that password is the password used to log into the computer. Alright, and when that finishes up, it should bring you to the location to which Python was downloaded. And you're not actually going to use any of these files directly. They're all going to be used through Visual Studio Code. Alright, so next what you're going to want to do is go back to the terminal and enter in those which commands again, or where on Windows. So which Python, or where Python, and that brings up that directory again, and that probably hasn't changed because we're going to have to do that manually. And then which pip3, or where pip. And so if this has changed and is matching this one, then you should be all good to go. You can try and run those codes to download the packages. If it looks like what mine looks like and they're different, you need to go into the extensions and then reinstall Python, and then do, for Mac, Command-Shift-P, for Windows it's Control-Shift-P, and then type Python select interpreter. It's that top one. Alright, so this is going to bring you to a list of all of the versions of Python that you have installed on your computer. And so the next step is to select the version that has the same location as the location of the pip installer that showed up down here. So I will search for this address up here, and it looks like that's this one. And so I'll click that, and notice down here you should see that number change. Alright, and then and at this point, if you type in the install commands, that should work no problem. Okay, and that should be about it. If this still doesn't solve the problem for you guys, let me know through email, and I'd be happy to set up another office hours to try to figure this out.